Good morning, parents. I thought we would do something a little bit different this week because the weather's so beautiful. Rather than writing you a message, I thought I would record a quick video for my weekly message to you all. So I hope you're well. I hope your families are well. Your children are well. You've had a lovely half-term break and you've been enjoying the fantastic autumn weather. It's lovely to see your children back in school, albeit online, and we're hoping to be able to welcome students back to school in the coming weeks, but more about that in a few moments' time or so. So things I'd like to share with you this morning are information about some upcoming events taking place this week and next week in school, to share more details about forthcoming events during this half term as well, and it's going to be a really exciting 7.5 weeks we have until the end of term 1, and then the Christmas or December and January vacation, and also some other updates about various school matters. Okay, the first event I'd like to invite you to, we're stood outside the community room here, which is a room for everyone, but particularly for ISPH families and parents, and looking forward to you being able to return to school, come and use this in our beautiful campus. The event I'd like to explain is tomorrow. We have a parent coffee morning. It's aimed at primary parents, but all parents are welcome to come along, and the topic is Seesaw. Seesaw is our digital learning platform for EYC, our youngest children up to year 6. So Mr JP and Mr Adam will be presenting that tomorrow on Thursday at the normal time of 10:30. That will be online, and all parents are very, very welcome to come along to that. Whether you've used Seesaw a little bit before, whether you're very new to Seesaw, or if you're an expert in Seesaw, I think you'll find the session tomorrow very useful. So Mr JP will send a message to you with information and a link for you to join in with the session tomorrow, and I hope to be able to see many of you tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning. Next, I would like to tell you about our whole school assembly on Friday. Coming up this Friday, the day after tomorrow. Mr James, our head of secondary, is leading our assembly. It's a Wellbeing Feel Good Friday assembly. Now, a special favour from Mr James, he's asking for video contributions from our students, our staff, and from our parents as well. So I think Mr James has sent you a message already asking for your contributions, so it would be fantastic if many parents were to take part in that. So please check your messages from Mr James, and if you're feeling brave like I am today, perhaps you could submit a video for our Feel Good Friday assembly. I hope you're all able to take part, and of course you're welcome to join our assembly too, and we'll be sending a link out to you before the event on Friday so that you can join in with our end of the week assembly. So those were 2 events that were taking place this week, the coffee morning tomorrow and our assembly on Friday. Now I've come to one of my favourite places in the whole school. Of course it's the ISPH library, and there's a reason why I've come here now. It's because next week is Book Week, of course, and our special theme is adventure. This year's Book Week is all about the theme of adventure, as you will know. So I hope parents that you are helping your child get ready for Book Week, thinking about a costume that they could be wearing for our parade next week. More details to follow about that. I need to think about my costume too, and the rest of the leadership team's adventure themed costume. That's a weekend job for me. We will be publishing a website just about Book Week. Like we did for Zurbien House Week, we'll have a Book Week website which is accessible to parents and students and staff, with a programme of events and all of the links and information that you will need for Book Week for next week. That should be shared with you later today, if not tomorrow, so there'll be a separate message with that link sent out to you. So I'm really excited about Book Week. Parents, I hope you are too a little bit. We try and design these weeks when we're not in school so it's manageable for you, not too much extra work to do, but it's supposed to be celebrating the love of books, the love of reading, and I'm really excited about Book Week, even though we'll be online this time. So thank you parents in preparation for next week. It's going to be a fantastic week, and the website will be sent to you, if not today then tomorrow. Okay, parents, next I'd like to give you a quick update about COVID and the likely reopening of the school. I've just removed my face mask, by the way. I've been wearing this around the school campus, but I've taken it off so I can be seen and heard by you more clearly. We don't know yet when students will return to school. There was some discussion in the news and the media last week about schools reopening this week. That was not official, but the good news is that we're hoping and expecting that school will be able to open in the next few weeks. But at the moment, from the Department of Education, we're waiting to receive the directive, so we need to wait for that. As soon as we receive the information, then I will be straight in touch with parents and doing all the necessary preparation to make sure, as we have done before after reopening from school closures, that everything is done health and safety wise, travel declarations, everything is ready school wise, which it is, everything is ready from parents and families, and we can have the safe return of our students back to school. So our buses are ready, our canteen will be ready, all of our classrooms and so on are ready for our students to return. So we're ready as soon as we get the go ahead from the government. As for the actual date, we don't know yet. It could be next Monday. Alternatively, it could be January. It could be any date in between those, but we will receive some days' notice, so we just need to be ready and prepared for the return of students. But it's an exciting time. The city is now emerging from lockdown. Vaccination rates are climbing towards 70% or so in Hanoi for the adult population, which is a very, very encouraging sign. So from the school's point, we're ready. We cannot wait for our students to come back and our parents to be able to come back to school as well safely, but more information to follow. But it's great news that we're hoping to be able to welcome students back in the next few weeks. Okay, the next information I'd like to share this week with parents is a little bit different. I'm out on the Astro pitch, which again is one of my favourite places in school, not to play football, not this time, but to talk to you about our emergency evacuation procedures. So if you hear the fire alarm go off in school, the emergency alarm, you'll be well aware of it. It's very loud. This is the place to come. So exit the school in the quickest way possible and to come onto the stadium on the stands here. So all of our students know this, but giving this message now because we have many new families who've perhaps not visited the school campus yet. On Friday we'll be having a drill with all of our staff, practicing our emergency evacuation, and when our students come back to school in the coming weeks, we'll then have an emergency evacuation practice with everyone. So this is the place to come if you hear the fire bell or if there's an emergency within the school. So that's the end of this week's message from the principal. I hope you've enjoyed the slightly different format this week and enjoyed seeing not just me, but more importantly, some of our beautiful school awaiting you and the return of our fantastic students. I have one last thing to mention. Please, could we ask for volunteers to be class reps in each class if we haven't already? I know in the primary school we have. Thank you so much if you're a parent who's volunteered to be a parent class rep. However, in some of our secondary classes, we don't yet have a parent rep. So this is a plea from me as your principal to our brilliant parents. Please could you volunteer to be our parent class rep? It's a simple role, but one that can really help coordinate things with parents, coordinating birthdays or social events or activities to do with school, and that parent can be the point of contact for certain events within the school as well. It's not a huge job, but it's one that can be really good fun and you get to meet other parents as well. Lastly, it's fine if it might be you and one other parent who does the job together as well. So before Mr JP or Mr James send a polite asking email from your principal, perhaps you could consider that to help out each of our classes make the very best progress this year. Thank you. And that's all. Our staff are coming for lunch now, so that's my cue to finish. Have a lovely day, everyone. I look forward to welcoming you to our coffee morning tomorrow morning, our assembly on Friday, book week next week, and a fantastic rest of the half term to come as well. Thanks very much and have a lovely rest of the week.